With this Blues Guitar Lessons for Beginners video, we'll show you how to play a Texas-style blues rhythm with a 12-bar progression, along with guitar tabs, chord diagrams, and practice rhythm tracks. We'll cover it all with the step-by-step approach. The Texas-style blues rhythm features the combination of strum chords played along with a walking bass line. And we're going to work on a Texas blues rhythm in the key of E. So we're going to start with a regular E chord, or E major. And we're going to focus on just learning one bar to start. And the strum pattern for this bar will start off with a down-up on the E chord. And then that's followed by a 6-note bass line. And those notes, we're going to start on the bottom string, 0, 3, 4. But I want to point out the finger numbers we're using for that, because from that E chord, now if you keep your fretting hand down, you might be tempted to use your pinky finger, but I would not suggest to use the pinky finger for the bass line. You want to use stronger fingers to get better tone, and that requires slightly shifting or pivoting the hand up a little bit. So you have the right finger, you have 0, but then you have that middle finger going down on the 3rd fret, and then the 3rd finger on the 4th fret. So focusing just on the bass line, those first 3 notes, 0, 3, 4, and then we shift to the next string, the 5th string, 2, 4, 2. And again, make sure to use the right finger numbers there, the 1 and 3 for the 2, 4, 2. Let's put together that 6-note bass riff. 0, 3, 4, 2, 4, 2. And one more. 0, 3, 4, 2, 4, 2. Now we'll connect the bass riff to the opening strum, just the down up. That one more time. Once you have that down, you want to start applying a count to help keep a tempo, a steady tempo. But since this is a beginner's lesson, there's a couple options. Everyone kind of learns tempo in a different way. As far as counting that bass line, well, the down up, 1, 2, and then technically you would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you were to count everything, let's apply that again, and then we'll give you another option. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But one way I've found that sort of works with beginners is another option to count would be down, up, or 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, down, up, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There is a slight difference, a slight variation between the two, but either one will work. The bottom line is you want to give the impression, sort of with this, it's sort of like a cowboy on a galloping horse. A good cowboy after a long day's work, going off in the sunset. I played it twice, and in fact, the first 4 bars of this 12-bar progression will be repeating this pattern in E. So what we're going to do with the next clip is we'll go over bars 1 through 4. In other words, it'll be the E section 4 consecutive times. We'll review that in the next section, and we'll review bars 1 through 4 2 total times. For bar 5, we shift to an A7th chord, and the strum pattern will remain the same for the A7 section. Everything's just shifted over one string, technically up one string. So the bass note for the A7th is the 5th string, so we'll do a down up on the A7th, and then that same bass line, except we're shifting up a string. So that'll be on the 5th string, and that'll be on the 4th string. So let's put that A7 section. We'll play it 2 times in a row because that'll follow the sequence. Bars 5 and 6 are both based off A7. Then for bars 7 and 8, we shift back to E, and we play the same pattern we played for bars 1 through 4. So let's put that together. We'll put together bars 5 through 8, 2 A7s and 2 E's. 1, 2. Ready, go. What we'll do next is we'll go back to the beginning now, and we'll put together bars 1 through 8. And a quick review of the running order: it'll be E 4 times, A7 twice, and then back to E for 2 more bars. And we'll play bars 1 through 8, we'll play them through 2 times in the next clip. For bar 9, we have a new chord we'll introduce, and we also will introduce a different strumming pattern. We're going to throw in a strumming variation. But we'll start with the chord shape for bar 9. That's going to be an open B7th chord. If you haven't played an open B7 before, you might want to do that. You might want to do an arpeggio just to make sure you get all 5 strings ringing clear. The 5th string is the bass note. And the strumming variation we're going to throw in, we're going to abandon that Texas rhythm strum for 2 bars, bars 9 and 10. Instead, we're going to substitute a what I call walk in the park rhythm. It sort of eases up the rhythm a little bit. So a relaxing kind of strum, and if I had to describe it with downs and ups, it would be down, up, down, up, up, down. That would be bar 9, just one measure of B7th. Bar 10, we go to A7, same strum pattern. One note on that transition between B7 and A7. If you focus on the 2 and 3 fingers for B7, you can go to A7, it's the same 2 fingers, so they just sort of shift over. That might help with that chord transition there. Let's put that together one more time. And then for bar 11, we return back to E and back to the original Texas rhythm strum. So let's put together those 3 chords, bars 9 through 11. That leads us to the final bar, bar 12, where we will play the turnaround. With the turnaround, we'll go back to the B7th chord, and another strumming variation. We're sort of revving up into the next verse. What I would suggest, you have a couple of options here, but basically all down strums like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Again, creating a little drama, tension, revving it up, creating momentum into the next verse. It doesn't even have to be exactly that. In fact, one note, those last 3, you got to do those. If you do those, you got to get back to that E pretty quick when we repeat the progression again to begin verse 2. So you could actually leave out a strum or 2 in the end. That's one option there, but we'll stick with all 3s, at least for now. So that's 4/3 counts. Good way to remember it's a 12th bar. You got kind of 12 quick strums there. Let's put together bars 9 through 12. Slow walk through though, starting with the B7. 1, 2, ready, go. With that, since we got a bunch of changes there for bars 9 through 12, the next clip we'll go through bars 9 through 12 and we'll do that progression twice. The next clip we'll put together bars 1 through 12, which will be verse 1, and we'll play through it with a slow walkthrough. Verse 2 will be another 12-bar progression, and bars 1 through 11 of verse 2 are identical to bars 1 through 11 of verse 1. The only difference on verse 2 will be what we do on bar 12. And instead of a turnaround, we will do an ending. And so instead of the B7, we're going to go to the regular E for bar 12, and it's simply going to be this. So it's kind of like a double down strum on the dot, then a slight mute, and then a sustained E chord. But the best way to hear how that sort of works is to sync it up with the previous bars on that. So we're going to review bars 9 through 12 of verse 2, and we'll throw in this ending as a substitute for bar 12. So starting with the B7 and the Walk Through the Park rhythm, here's how the ending will sound, starting with bar 9. And we'll walk through that one more time. 1, 2, Next, we'll put together verses 1 and 2. So we're going to play a 24-bar progression. Remember, bars 1 through 11 are identical for each verse. The only difference will be verse 1 on bar 12, we play the turnaround. Verse 2 on bar 12, we play the ending. Once you have verses 1 and 2 down, you can throw in this riff. As an added intro and outro section. It's a classic blues riff, and how we go about it is the middle finger, the 2 finger, will be on the 3rd string 4th fret, and on the same fret, but skipping over a string to the 1 string, we have our 3rd finger down on that 1st string 4th fret. And the order we play the strings, you're going to go 3, 1, 2. So let's do that a few times. And once you have clarity there, what you do is you do that 3-note run, and then you move down a fret each time. And then we jump to an E major. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Now, as far as that connecting to the 12-bar progression, what you can do, how I would count it, you don't have to necessarily count that. You count it in threes. But when you get to that E chord, you can go 1, 2, 3, and. That's how you could use that riff as an intro and connect it to the progression. Let's do that one more time. Now this riff can also be used as an outro. And that brings up another trick you can do with standard blues progressions. It's called a false ending. Now we had an ending, but if we add this riff as an outro, the original ending becomes a false ending. It gives the impression that we're done with the song. But just for added coolness, you could throw in that riff, and then that E strum will be the official ending. So I'll back it up a little bit to the last 4 bars of the song, just to rehearse that false ending. So starting with the B7th strum, Walk in the Park strum. False ending, and then you throw this in. And what we'll do in the next clip, we'll put it all together. We'll add the intro and the outro to the 2 verses, and we'll play it at a slightly faster tempo than the previous time we did it. Once you have this lesson down, the next step is to move up to the next level or lesson with blues rhythm basics. And with that next lesson, we'll show you an alternate way to play a Texas rhythm with a 12-bar progression.